For this video, I'm taking you on another tour of a Toys R Us store located in Halifax, Nova Scotia. So it's probably obvious by now that I'm somebody who has a retail background. At least that's what I did when I was working on my college degrees. And, even though I focus mostly on theme parks and museums and resorts, you'll notice occasionally some malls and retail stores will pop up into this channel from time to time. I was a huge fan of Toys R Us when I was a kid, and I'm really frustrated that they don't really exist anymore, at least in the conventional sense in the United States. I know they've been kind of trying to come back, and they've got a couple stores in some specialty malls, but they are not the large chain that they were when I was a kid. Up here in Canada, it was a completely separate business entity, and when Toys R Us went bankrupt and ceased to exist in the United States, the Canadian stores were completely unaffected, and it was just business as usual up here. So one of my bucket list goals is I want to travel through Canada over time and basically visit and film every single Toys R Us store that's up here. So far I've filmed 3 provinces. I filmed the stores in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, as well as Newfoundland. And now I'm going to start heading west and try to get to the ones all the way over to British Columbia at some point. Now, this store was pretty interesting to me, and they had a lot of differences from the other Toys R Us stores. For one, this is the first Toys R Us store that I've been to that had vinyl. That was kind of different. And they actually had a special section in the front of the store designated for the new hot toys, and that was an area where kids can actually play with the newest toys and see if they like them. And right now they had like Mario Kart toy kind of raceway set. Reminded me of kind of like my Hot Wheels sets when I was a kid. This store was large, probably the largest one that I've been to so far in Canada. They also shared a lot of the sales floor with the Babies R Us store, and some of the stores up here in Canada have the Babies R Us sections and some of them don't. So far I think it's been about 80% of them that also have the Babies R Us products on display. So this one was very large. This is the first one that I saw that actually had an automated baby registry too. I don't remember seeing that at any of the other locations. Now keep in mind, it's now been 2 years since I started filming these Toys R Us stores, and now, so some of this information might have changed since I filmed the initial Toys R Us stores 2 years ago. But this is the first time I've seen the baby registry, so that was different. They had a really large selection of 1/64 scale Hot Wheels cars and Matchbox cars, those type of things. I was really impressed by that. One of the things that I wish Toys R Us would address is I wish they would start carrying the larger diecast cars, like the Maestro size 1/24 scale, 1/18 scale cars, because those are some of my favorite toys when I was a kid. They had an insanely large section of Lego toys. I was really impressed with what they had in stock. Their section for Transformers toys was probably the largest I've ever seen of Transformers at any of the Toys R Us stores. Very, very impressive. This store's stocking was so-so, though, overall. There were a lot of empty shelves. Now, keep in mind, I'm in the off-season. I was filming this in the summertime, and they don't really staff retail stores very well until they get closer to the Christmas season. So I get that the stock levels are low because they just don't bring in the inventory until they're closer to the winter season. Overall, this was a pretty good location, although I think the Dartmouth Crossing store was superior, and it's not that far from here. So if you only go to one Toys R Us store up here in the Halifax area, I would definitely recommend going to Dartmouth instead. Just seems like that store was better stocked. There was one upside to coming here, though. There is a Mastermind toy store like almost directly across the street from this Toys R Us. So if you're looking for a specific toy and it's out of stock here at Toys R Us, they probably have it across the street at Masterminds. I mean, I was just blown away being up here in Nova Scotia, having one toy store across the street from another. I mean, I was having flashbacks of when I was a kid. I remember going to Toys R Us sometimes and being disappointed with they didn't have something in stock. and I would go down the street and go to KB Toys and pick up what I was after. So just very cool that there's so many toy stores up here in Canada. And I mean, they had a Super Walmart like right next door as well. So if you strike out a Mastermind and Toys R Us, then the well-stocked Super Walmart next door probably has the item. Well, that wraps up another tour of a Toys R Us store. If you enjoyed this vlog of the Adventure Schmuck, don't forget to like and subscribe.